Good afternoon, everybody. Colin here with Techout, and Apple has just released iOS 26 Beta 3 to developers. We are also fucking piece of shit. All right, sorry about that. OBS just randomly decided it was going to crash. We are running iOS Beta 2, iOS 26 Beta 2 right now on my iPhone 16 Pro Max. I have been using this phone on and off here on the beta, so we're going to go ahead and check for the update. I did get the notification that the update was out, but I did not try to update yet. Let me bring the camera back up here. There we go. I have not tried to update yet. I didn't check for the update or anything like that, so we are going to go ahead and do that now. iOS 26 Beta 2 has been pretty good for me. Let me know how it's been running for you guys, if you guys are on the beta. But it's not too bad. Battery life has gotten a little bit better, but it does seem to still need some improvements in my opinion. So we're going to go to general, excuse me, software update here. And we're going to go ahead and check for the update. Let me turn that light a little bit. There we go. See if it'll come up for us. I did wait today to start the stream until I got the notification that it was out. That way we weren't sitting here trying to update over and over again. But yeah, Beta 2, I mean, I didn't really have too much lag in Beta 2. There were some moments like here and there, but I didn't really have any like major like issues. I had a lot of crashes, like random crashes in Beta 1. Like even just on like the home screen, like scrolling around the home screen, stuff like that, it would crash. I didn't have any issues like that on Beta 2. I can't recall it ever like just restarting randomly or anything like that. So this, I mean, it's not really my main phone. I do have I have an S25 Edge and an S25 Ultra. So I do switch back and forth between different devices and stuff like that. My S25 Ultra is on the One UI 8 beta, which I mean isn't really a huge beta because of you know, it's basically just like One UI 7.1, but or 7.5, what do you want to call it? So this update is coming in at 6.68 gigabytes on my iPhone 16 Pro Max, which is significantly larger than Beta 1 to Beta 2. I think Beta 1 to Beta 2 is like under 3 gigs or around 3 gigs if I remember correctly. If anybody remembers, let me know. But it wasn't that big for me on Beta 2. On your main iPad, I mean, you might want to wait a little bit. We might be getting the public beta here soon. Sometimes the public beta will roll out around Beta 3. Apple did say it's coming out in July, so if it doesn't come out, sometimes it'll come out the same day the developer release does. Sometimes it'll come out like tomorrow or Wednesday. If it doesn't come out this week, in probably about 2 weeks, we should be having the public beta as well. So, yeah, I mean, if you're using a main device, like I haven't tried Beta 3 yet, so we'll have to get in here and see how it does. But I would go ahead and wait just a little bit and see what people are reporting. There's plenty of channels that put out, you know, more in-depth like reliability and stability videos than I do. I'm kind of more all about just showing you guys the installation process, how it goes, and my first impressions of it once it's ready to go. So we'll see. But you know, like I said, I'll do an update video. If not tomorrow, then probably Wednesday on the build and see how it does and see if I've had any issues with it. So just, you know, I would wait a little bit if it's your main device. Yeah, I don't know why people are getting like 9 gigs and like crazy amounts. I haven't had that many updates that are big. My first one I think was like 15 or 16 gigabytes going from iOS 16 to iOS 26, or iOS 18. I don't know why I keep calling it iOS 16. iOS 18 to, you know, iOS 26 was really big. But my updates have been pretty small compared to what other people are reporting. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and give that like button a smash. Give that subscribe button a smash if you guys could. Got 111 people in here, so if we can get those likes up, half to maybe 75 likes, that would be very, very nice. I don't think I can. Can I fix this so it shows the emojis on the chat? Let's see. I thought I could. Let's see if the messages or the emojis show up in the chat now. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you again, Caprica, for the subscribe. I don't think it's a complete rework. I don't think they would do that right now, but there's probably a large update in there based on a lot of the feedback. Now that we're almost a month out, or we are a month out. Hey, I think the emojis are working now. Let me check here and see if we have any. Yeah, no, we don't have no release notes from Apple yet, so we'll probably have to wait for those again. The iPhone, the non-Pro 15s and the anything before that's probably going to be a little bit smaller because you're not going to get, it's probably not going to be, there's no intelligent stuff or anything like that. Your banking app's not working. I've never had that issue with iOS. With apps not working on betas. It's more of like an Android thing. Thank you for the subscription. Fix CarPlay. What issues were you having with CarPlay? I didn't have any issues with CarPlay. And I use my CarPlay a good bit. iPad, no, macOS, not seeing beta 3. Hey, let's talk science. Yes, I do. Okay, yeah, beta 3. My Mac didn't show anything yet. I know some people are saying iPad OS is showing up for them, so it might just be a little bit delayed. No, the public beta is not available yet. I don't know if we'll get that today or if, maybe sometime this week. Usually we get it around beta 3 or beta 4, so usually they just kind of release that depending on how things are going. But yeah, nothing on the public beta yet. the 14th. That might, I mean, we might see it next week. Yeah, sometimes what they'll do is they'll release beta 3, and if beta 3 is relatively stable and they don't have any major issues reported in it, then they'll go ahead and release beta 3 as the public beta. Sometimes they've done that, and I'm pretty sure sometimes in the past they've also released the public beta as like the previous beta version. So like if beta 2 is pretty stable, then they'll release beta 2 as the public beta. If not, they'll update to beta 3 to developers, wait for any feedback, and then release it as a public beta, you know, like a week or so later. How's the battery on the developer beta? It's a lot better on beta 2 than it was on beta 1. So we'll see how that goes on beta 3. Hopefully it's a little bit more improved. It wasn't terrible on beta 2, but it wasn't. I still don't think it was. You know, stable build type ready. Yeah, if somebody said something about the camera control, my camera control button does not work in beta 2. I can like press it to open the camera, but the swipe gestures and the light tap do not work. It'll still take pictures and stuff like that, like the actual, you know, like if I click it right now, the camera will open. If I click it again, it'll take a picture. But as far as controlling the camera itself with the swipes and the light presses, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, if you're already on the beta, then I would definitely update to the beta 3. You don't want to stay on an old beta. There's always going to be bug fixes and stuff like that, so I always recommend, unless there's like a major issue, like they pull the beta because it's bricking phones or something like that, something random, which rarely happens. I would always update to the next beta. Don't be like, oh, beta 2 is great, I'm just going to stay on beta 2. Don't do that. Dev beta 3, yeah, that sounds about right if you're coming from iOS 18.5. When I went from iOS 18 to beta 1, it was like 14 or 15 gigabytes on my 16 Pro Max. Yeah, I don't know. Mine doesn't work. Like if I can tap right now to start the video or take a picture or whatever, but the actual like swipe doesn't. The swipe and the light press doesn't do anything. So that is kind of annoying. It didn't work in beta 1 either. Still not seeing the beta pop up on my Mac. Yeah, mine is enabled in the settings. Let's see. Yeah, iPadOS and macOS were released. I don't know why the update's not showing up yet. If you guys want to, if you guys want to get updates on when builds are released, I do have this wrong screen. Let's see. Put it on this one. Yes, I do have a little update thing on my Discord. I'll put the Discord link in my in my in the descriptor in the chat here in a second. But what you can do is you can go in here and you can activate this, and you'll get a Discord notification when updates are published. That way you know when they go live. So you can just choose. I believe if you go in here, there's just like an emoji you react to. Obviously, this channel's been going for a while, so it goes all the way back, like at least like 2023 with iOS 17. So, try to find the top here. How long has this channel been going? iOS 14. So yeah, we can see all the dates that all these builds have been released. Jesus. iOS 11 or macOS 11. iOS 17. There's iOS 17 beta 1 in there. HomePod OS. Yes, a bunch of stuff in there. But anyway, I will link this. Link my Discord. There's obviously like chats and stuff in here. So you guys can you guys can chat, ask questions, help each other out, stuff like that. So I'm gonna share that link with you guys. In the comments. Should be in the description. I think it's in all my descriptions, but I just posted it in the comments if anybody is anybody's interested. Looks like we already got somebody joining in here. A couple people actually, it looks like. While I was while I was showing that, everybody was figuring out how to get in. Yeah, I think the description's in my or the links in my description as well. So you guys can check that out. We're still updating here. But yeah, you should be able to go down to the software update thing, and there should be like a little like emoji you react to, and you can choose what devices you have or what updates you want to see. That way you don't get notifications for things that aren't relevant to you. Yeah, I did activate my camera control option is activated. It doesn't change anything. But it is turned on. Everything's turned on. So we'll try it in beta 3 because it's ready to go here. So we're going to hit install now, and we're going to get this installed on the 16 Pro Max. I got a Discord just gave me an alert that there was an unusual join activity. So if you guys were having to do like a captcha or something like that to get in, I just fixed that and let them know that it was normal activity. So there were so many people joining at one time that that it was freaking out. But we're all good now. I'll pin that chat too, by the way. Just if anybody wants to join that Discord, like I said, you can set it. You don't have to. It won't automatically do it, but you can set it up in there to where you get notifications when Apple pushes betas. And generally, like right when they hit, I'll get those notifications. So you do get those before the update. Like I already got the one for macOS, and macOS still isn't showing up on my macOS still isn't showing up on my Mac, but it is showing up for other people. So if it's like a slow rollout, you'll get notifications. You'll get notifications on there, and can know when it's going to go live. I think my Discord is still connected to. I think my Discord is still connected to my channel as well. So if you become like a channel member, you do get other other perks in Discord, I believe, or you can change your role will show in Discord. Let me see. See, one of the people I know is a channel member. Are they online? Oh, where is he? Thank you everybody subscribing. I didn't see the thing. Let's see. There should be there's a channel member role in here. I don't know if it's working or not, because I know a channel member is I'll have to look at that and see if I can fix it, but yeah. So we got some new wallpapers, it looks like. Yeah, if anybody is like updating or they see something, go down to, you can either put it in general or like there's an iOS channel as well. So you can put it in either one, either like iOS, macOS, or general. If there's something you guys noticed that you guys want me to talk about, like new wallpapers, for example, somebody just posted. I have the Discord open right now, so you can go ahead and post in there, and that way I'll see it. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to see stuff there in the comments, and you can post like pictures and stuff like that as well, or links, and you don't have to worry about like YouTube blocking them. All right, somebody's spamming, what's the build number? I don't know. I haven't finished updating yet, so I'm going to put you in timeout because you're spamming. I don't know if it's a major update. It's a pretty large update in terms of size, but I don't know if it is as far as like what's changed. I don't know because I'm still installing, but we're about to find out here. And like I said, if you guys are not part of the Discord yet, I will post well, the link's pinned, so the link is pinned, but I'll put it in chat again. You guys can talk about stuff here. You can share new stuff with me. You can share findings with me, stuff like that, as well as post links and pictures that you can't post here on YouTube. If you guys want if you see something on the internet that's in iOS, macOS, or whatever that you want me to go over, you can share it on Discord. It's a little bit easier for me to see it there. All right, we just started back up here, so let's take a look. I will notice the initial, like, it didn't, when I entered my passcode for the first time, there wasn't any, like, stutter. It didn't, like, kind of, like, cough to life. So that is good. We'll go in here to settings. Let's just go back to what I was looking at first. Let's see if my camera control works. Are you serious? It's still not working? Yeah, the swipe gestures, see, I can take a picture, but the swipe gestures are still not working. What? How is that? How has that been broken for 3 betas? And for everybody telling me to enable it in the camera settings, it is. It's turned on. Camera adjustments on. Light press and swipe are both on, and it's still not working. I don't get how that's been broken for 3 betas now. And that's not even like a new feature. It's like, it's what? I'm pretty sure I tried that in the other one, but yeah, I mean, I'll turn it off. We'll open the camera. Nada. We'll force close the camera. We'll go back into settings. We'll turn it back on. Reopen the camera. Yeah, nope. Still nothing. I mean, you can see there's like some animation like stutter. The phone just booted up and finished installing the update. And then in the previous 2 betas, my button works. Like I can open the camera and take pictures with it, but does your swipe controls work? Because that's what's not working for me. On the other iPhone, I don't have another iPhone with camera control. I only have a SE and a 16e, which isn't on the beta. It's still on iOS 18. Restart. I mean, it just did restart it. That doesn't fix anything. It was doing it in beta 1. It was doing it in beta 2. And then it was doing it in beta 3, and it doesn't do anything. The keyboard on other apps is not going to come until the app developers update their app. So that's not going to come until until it's public. Somebody said the new wallpapers. Let's see. So there's still some lag here. We have some featured ones. Like you see, it says Bermuda, which is when I was on a cruise in Bermuda. So it takes like the names from where you were. Welch is in West Virginia. That's when I was ATV riding. But somebody said there were new colors, I believe it was, to the default wallpapers. So we'll go to iOS right here. Are they these? I think these are new. Yeah. So dusk, halo, sky, and then shadow. I think that's the one we have now. And then that is the one. These are the new ones. I'll put it in light mode as well. So that's what the new wallpapers look like right there. I always like the dark mode wallpapers. I'm not going to add the new one because I'm just using the other one. But hello. Okay, so there's a little bug thing when you back out of the wallpaper. It just had a black screen. You had to like swipe down. Has the new ringtone remained? Let's see. Yes, we do have the default and we have the alternate one as well. So everybody said to restart my phone. Is my phone very hot? Not really, no. I mean, I have a case on, but it doesn't feel warm through the case. Everybody's saying to restart my phone and try the camera control again. So we're going to try that and see if anybody is right. So we'll go ahead and restart it here and see if we get anywhere with that. Here, I want to put a poll on here on the YouTube chat. Does your camera control work? And I'm talking about the swipe gestures, not the buttons, not the button. Okay, so I just posted that poll. If anybody can go answer there and let me know. All right, so we're getting a lot of no's. See, as you can see here, there's not a lot of lag after restart, which is good. A lot of people saying no. We do have some people saying okay, so now we have a lot of people saying yes. So what I'm talking about is, does your swipe gesture work? If you swipe, can you control the camera like zoom, light press for settings, anything like that? Does that work for you guys? So a lot of people are saying yes. We have a lot of people saying no. It's kind of going back and forth. So let me know. Yeah, I know I need to get something to like control these spammers in here, or put on slow mode or something. Actually, I can turn on slow mode right now. That would probably help. Notifications. The notifications look to be about the same. Somebody's asking about the frostiness. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty much the same as beta 2. They're definitely not as like glassy as they were in beta 1. They're definitely more like frosted and stuff like that. I mean, if you have like a folder here, you can still see like the liquid glass aspect on like the folders here where it's, you can see through them. I think once the beta came out, Apple kind of realized that liquid glass it wasn't as well received as they were hoping it was going to be, because they immediately went back on some of that with like, you know, the control center and stuff like that. In control center, you could basically see through this. You could see your wallpaper and your home screen and everything. It was so clear you could read icon text on beta 1, and they really quickly went back on that. Is it still labeled beta in settings next to Apple Intelligence? Yes, it is. So yeah, third-party apps are not going to be getting the new keyboard until the, like if I go here, the YouTube Studio app to reply to a comment, you can see there we go, just the old keyboard. That's a system feature, and the new apps have not been updated to use that, because you can't publish iOS 26 updated apps until it's public. I'm not talking about the public beta. I'm talking about public in September. That's when all the apps will update and get the new keyboard and stuff like that. Kind of like when we had iOS just changed the keyboard before, and it took a while. It took a while for all app developers to update to the new keyboard. So it's not going to be every app, you know, right away. There's going to be some time before we get the keyboard and all the new apps. If you installed this, will you be able to install public beta 1? I'm not sure how it works going from developer beta to public. Sometimes the public beta is the same build. So if you update to this now, you might just be running the same build, but sooner than it's available on the public beta channel. So it just depends on what build's released. If the public beta is an older build than the developer beta, then you're not going to be able to go back to it. So probably wouldn't, if you're planning on running the public beta, I would just wait. Screenshot. I have never had an issue taking a screenshot. It worked fine in beta 1. It worked fine in beta 2. I was taking a bunch of screenshots to show people iOS 26 in beta 1 when it first came out, and I never had an issue with it. If you open this right here and you tap the X, though, you're not saving the screenshot. You have to actually click the check mark. So you can either do this. I have the big thing turned off, so it doesn't automatically open that window, this window right here. You can change that so it just does the old style in the corner. If you open this up, though, and you tap the X, you're not saving the screenshot. So you have to do the check mark up there. If you take a screenshot and you have this come up over here and you let it go away, then it does save the screenshot automatically. I don't know exactly what they changed yet. We're not really seeing too much. There's some new colors to the default wallpapers, the default iOS wallpapers. I have a backup for iOS 26 beta 1. I downgraded to iOS 18. You should be able to use your iOS 26. You can either back up again in iOS 18 and use it. I mean, I'm assuming you probably had to wipe to go back to iOS 18. But if you have an iOS 26 beta 1 backup, then yes, you should be able to use that in iOS 26 beta 3. Yes, the screenshot is working with back tap. I accidentally, when I put my phone down, I accidentally did it. I think it's 3 taps. It does work. It's just I have a case on, so it's kind of. There we go. So yes, it does. It is working. That worked for me in beta 2. I didn't have any issues with that in beta 2 because I was accidentally taking screenshots all the time. Does the refresh rate feel any better? I mean, there's some lag here and there, but there's always been lag like for a couple hours after the update. So I'm not too sure. I'm not going to change my wallpaper. I've shown you guys all the I've shown all the wallpapers already. Yeah, I mean, it's always been laggy. Beta 1 was really laggy after it updated initially. Beta 1 was laggy initially after it updated, and beta 2 is not as bad, but it was still pretty rough. So we'll see how this one does. It's not too bad. I mean, you can see some kind of stutter here. I don't think this camera is only in 30 frames a second, so the refresh rate you guys are seeing is not going to be as smooth as it is in person. Beta 3 did not get as hot as it did when updating to beta 2. No. I don't think my screen, I didn't even notice the screen dimmed down or anything this time, which did happen the previous 2 times. How does it look in light mode? Did I miss it? No, I didn't. I have my icons pretty much set. Like everything pretty much stays the same for me in light mode because I don't have, there we go. That's the difference between that and that wallpaper and that setup. Image Playground is not part of, those updates aren't coming as part of the iOS beta updates. That's going to be the same. That's all just the Apple Intelligence beta. Search within, that has never had an issue for me. Everything always works with searching in the settings app. The color picker for the clock, yeah, that hasn't, I don't think that's worked since like beta 1. That's always been an issue, I'm pretty sure. Let me look here and see if anybody's posted anything like that's changed. Not yet, I don't think. Dang, if anybody needs, I'm just looking at this right here. Hold on 1 second. If anybody wants some, let me copy the link for this for you guys. If anybody wants some AirTags, there's a 4-pack on Amazon right now, and they are $67. So I'm gonna post that for you guys. If anybody's looking to get some AirTags, that's a great time to do that. All right, so there's the general consensus on the poll on the camera control button. Back tap for screenshot does indeed work. I just showed that it does work. Screenshots do work just fine. I don't know, everybody keeps wanting to see Apple Music. It's the same as it was before. There's nothing changed in Apple Music. Everything is the same. Yes, I've answered the screenshot question for BackTap about 3 times now, so maybe you don't have your speakers on, but if you're going to ask a question, maybe turn your speakers on and listen. Screenshots do work. I've showed it twice. So for the 4 people that are continuously asking about screenshots, they work, and BackTap works. I'm not being rude. You guys keep asking the same question over and over again that I've continuously answered. No, it's not heating up. I don't know what has changed yet. We're waiting on there's still no changelog published, so still no changelog, so my phone is not heating up. It's heating up way less than it was on beta 2. And this is the 16 Pro Max. Visible changes in the beta, not as of yet. I haven't found anything that's visibly changed. We have some new system wallpapers, just the regular iOS wallpapers. I mean, it's the same wallpaper. They just added some color. Here's the battery settings. There's still nothing changed here. As far as all the charging and all that kind of stuff, all the settings are still the same. We have the adaptive power mode on supported devices and stuff like that. But as far as the battery menu, everything there is still the same. Public beta either later this week or next week, probably, for the public beta. I'm not going to change my wallpaper. I'm not recustomizing my phone just because you guys want me to. There's no point in just changing the wallpaper and changing all these settings and stuff like that. The dock, oh yeah, the dock, if you have only one, if you have less than 4 icons. No. So if you only have 3, oh no, it does. Okay, so when you save it, it does go to, it does recenter. So yes, that has been fixed. So. The Face ID logo in Dynamic Island is now green. Wasn't it green before? Like when you like Face ID with an app? As far as I know, it was green before. I don't remember. That doesn't look any different to me. I don't think anything's changed with Apple Intelligence. Apple Intelligence is those updates are kind of coming on their own. That's not really something that we see like with with an iOS update. They're kind of rolling those out independently. For anybody asking if battery life improved, I'm gonna ask you guys a question. How am I supposed to tell if battery life improved when I've been running this for less than 30 minutes? Just please ask yourself that before you ask a question. Like, how am I gonna know that? The lag, I mean, the lag's kind of, I mean, it's hard to tell right after the update, but it does seem to be better. Oh yeah, I got to do the Geekbench. I have the score. I have the score from the last update. So that is our score from beta 2 when we installed beta 2. So I'll run it right now for beta 3. And we'll see what we get on this one. Yeah, like I'm not trying to be rude about the questions, guys, but people are in here asking legitimate questions, and I'm trying to read those. And then I have people in here asking questions like, "Oh, how's the battery life?" It's been 30. You guys have seen since my phone turned back on after the install. So you can see the exact same battery. You can see what I'm doing on the phone, and you can see the exact same battery that I can. So there's no reason to ask the question. I mean, you guys, I mean, common sense. I'm trying to respond to legitimate questions, and you guys ask like, "Oh, how's the battery life? How's the battery life? How's the lag?" But you guys can see what I see. Tim, how do I answer a question that I can't possibly answer? How's the battery life? Like it's not no. No, I'm not going to show the contact card of the phone app because it's going to have phone numbers in there. I'm not going to do that on a live stream and accidentally show somebody's information. When this is done, I'll show you how to change the screenshot page. I actually have to find it again. I don't remember where I found it, but there's a way to change it. Transparent screen. No, it's not as transparent as it was in beta 1. They didn't change that back. For the index, I mean, I don't know. Nobody really knows. I mean, it um, kind of really depends. You know, like on Android, it'll tell you that it's still like learning your usage patterns and stuff like that. Um, so we'll have to see kind of like what we, you know, I would give it like a day. And I mean, you should be safe after a day. All right, so here is the score. I'm just going to go back real quick and go to the history. So we actually gained, we went from 3363 single core to 3406 single core and 8290 on the multi-core to 8490 on the multi-core today. So we actually have an increase in multi-core of about 200, not about 200, actually 200. So that is pretty good. So we do have a little bit of a kind of, performance bump there. I mean, that doesn't really mean too much, on paper, but as far as that, we do have a little bit of a bump right there. So not too bad, not too bad. The liquid glass in all apps. I mean, I'm just going through like messages here. I don't think it's not as. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. It's not as frosted as. I mean, I don't really know. It's hard to tell. It doesn't seem like that the aspect of that changed much more from beta 2 to beta 3 as it did from beta like 1 to beta 2. Like if we pull down right here, you can see we still get the glass effect right there until you swipe all the way down and it does that. But it doesn't seem that they took away any of the glassiness from 2 to 3 like they did going from 1 to 2. Oh, I forgot to show you the screenshot thing too. I said I would show that after the Geekbench. Where did I see that? No, I gotta find it again. Of course, you can't search screenshot because nothing comes up. As a general, screen capture. So there's a screen capture settings thing in general. If you go in here, you can change the full screen previews if you turn that on. And see here, for example, we still have the glassy little switches here when you hold on them like that. So now with the full screen thing on, if we do a screenshot, you can see we automatically get that window popping up instead of just popping up down here on the left. So, I mean, I'll leave that on again and try it and see. You can turn on automatic visual lookup. You can toggle on and off CarPlay screenshots here. So if you have CarPlay connected, you can choose whether you want it to screenshot the CarPlay screen as well. And then you can also change whether you want it to be HDR or SDR for the screenshots. So that's pretty cool. So when this phone is locked and you swipe up, oh yeah, I don't remember what color, like I'll have to try that on my other iPhone that doesn't have the beta, but because I don't remember, like it's not one of those huge noticeable changes to me. I just wish my camera control would work because it is still not working. The background, the glass effect colors seem to be different. Yeah, they've been changing the glass effects throughout the last few betas to fix like readability issues and stuff like that. So that's helping a lot. But I mean, I think it does look like it does look like here in like settings, like you can kind of tell like the search bar isn't as glassy. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if that's changed a lot from beta 1 to beta or from beta 2 to beta 3. It definitely changed a lot from beta 1 to beta 2. Definitely they removed a lot of the glass. When I say glass effects, I guess I mean like clear glass, like reflective and clear and all that kind of stuff, more in favor of kind of like frosted, which being from like iOS, from like a new OS, not new OS, but an updated OS like UI standpoint, I really did like the liquid glass, like how they showed it off at WWDC. From a like usability and visibility standpoint, I do like the frosted a little bit more, but visually I like the other one more. I think it just looks cool. But it kind of sucks that Apple kind of showed off this vision at WWDC with liquid glass, and they immediately, like after beta 1 came out and they got feedback, they immediately had to pull back on it. What's the point of making everything frosted? It's easier to see. A lot of the things, like when you had like Control Center, when Control Center was super see-through, you could literally read the text on the back of the screen, on the wallpaper and on the home screen. It made things on Control Center on like the foreground window hard to see because you could see through to the background so much. So they frosted it to make the text and stuff easier to see. When you go to the camera app, do you still have to wait like 5 seconds to be able to see the camera? Or to be able to flip the camera? Yes. So when I open, here I'll show you. When I open the camera app, and thank you for the super chat. Why I put you on a blind? Because you kept asking the same questions over and over again. Whether you can see or not doesn't mean you can spam my chat. So when you open it, the little option to view your gallery and stuff, they do not slide over immediately. So you have to wait for this to close up and that to slide over before you can swap the camera, flip the camera. Can you flip the camera by like swiping on it though? No, you can't do that. Yeah, there's a delay in the flip button. So if you are waiting, like if you want to switch the camera, you do have to. Now you can. I think a workaround to that would be if you quick press on. Let me test this out here. If you quick press on or long press on the icon, you can go to the menu here, and if you do selfie, that'll open the selfie camera. Or if you do video, it'll open the other camera. You just can't go to photo mode for some reason. You can only go to video and portrait selfie on the so you can go to selfie and portrait selfie on the face camera, and video and portrait on the back camera. So you can't just do a regular photo like that. But it does switch cameras instantly like that. Yeah, the glassy widgets, I do like those. They did kind of pull back on those too. As you can see, like the battery thing is like really frosted and stuff like that. I'll have to go back and kind of like watch WWDC again and kind of just like compare to liquid glass that they showed off there and liquid glass that we're getting now. Maybe I'll make like a video on that, kind of like comparing like WWDC liquid glass and, you know, iOS, you know, the actual beta liquid glass. So here, Brandon Butch just posted a comparison between Control Center in beta 2 and beta 3. So this is beta 2 right here, and then this is beta 3. So you can see beta 2 is a lot more frosted and a lot more matte than beta 3. Beta 3 still is matte, but it's not as kind of like overcorrected as beta 2. So if if anybody's wondering, there are the differences between beta 2 and beta 3 and the control center. So they did kind of draw back a little bit. And yeah, Brandon Butch said the same thing. He said, I don't know, I like the original liquid glass design better. Same thing. I like the design, but from a usability standpoint, I think that it's a lot easier to see visually. And Max Weinbach just said the same thing. Yeah, liquid glass got nerfed in beta 3, but it doesn't look bad. Just not as cool as transparent as beta 1 and 2, but performance seems better. I guess it's a good middle ground, but we'll see what happens between now and September. And that's a good point too, guys. Apple's kind of testing the waters on these kind of things. Apple's kind of testing the waters on what people want with liquid glass in terms of how much glassiness, how much reflectiveness, transparency, and all that kind of stuff that they want. So this is all subject to change between now and September. So, what we have now, what we have in beta 1, what we have in beta 2, what we have in beta 3 is not going to be what we get in beta 4 and is not what we get in September at the public release. So just keep that in mind, that some of the stuff that they're doing now, you can say you hate it, you can say it looks ugly, but this is a beta. They're testing it, they're refining stuff, and all that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind. They fixed the dock alignment. We already talked about that. I'm just scrolling on X here too, just to see some of the new stuff. And yeah, so somebody else said they scaled back even more. Elements are more frosted. So here's an update on the Macs. There's an issue with the rollout of Rosetta 26 beta 3, which is causing Apple Silicon devices to not get this beta. Apple will need to fix the server side before you can install the beta. Intel Macs should still have the update without issues. So somebody also said no TVS or HomePod beta today. Maybe we're waiting on an issue to be fixed with that as well. But yeah. Somebody said that Aaron did post there is tvOS in it, so I don't know, maybe it rolled out. I guess I can, let's see. Look at my Apple TV remote here on this. And we'll see if there is a beta. You guys can't see my TV, but I'll let you guys know if one pops up. I have stuff in front of my TV, so I can't even see my TV. Nope, that's not the right menu. Nope, still not the right menu. I need system. Here we go. Software update. Update software. That's the wrong button. Okay, yeah. So there's no tvOS beta right now. So that's weird. Normally this early in the beta, we don't see issues with or not issues, but we don't see betas not rolling out to the same devices at the same time. You have to select I think I have, they're all listed though. They're all selected for the camera control. Yeah, you can't like disable them. That's just showing the, um, that's just so you can reorder them. But they're all, you can't select them or turn them off or anything like that. Oh, wait, what? Okay, hold on. Camera, zoom. This whole time this hasn't been broken, you just have to tap these? Who said that? Yeah, normally when you disable these on like iOS, you swipe and you hit the little red, do not enter thing, and then it moves it like to a different list. That's confusing. Matthew, thank you. So yeah, camera and zoom. Okay, I really don't care about anything other than that. Okay, what, Apple, really? Yep, okay, so now it works. Wasn't broken the whole time. I just didn't have any enabled. Why? I don't know why. That's kind of like buggy / misleading though, the fact that they have this menu now where you can change these, but they come all disabled by default even though this is already turned on. Like, why would they default this to on and then default this to nothing checked? That doesn't that doesn't make too much sense. That's kind of, people are gonna, if they don't fix that, people are gonna be like, oh, my camera control doesn't work. Because like, yeah, I never realized that it wasn't, that it was, I thought it was broken. Because like, that's new for this, that you have that you can check this, that you can reorder this. Normally it just shows all the controls. So thank you to Matthew in the chat for that. I'm going to pin that comment. So if anybody's having issues with camera control, because there were still a lot of people, it's not just me, there were still a lot of people in the chat that said, their camera control wasn't working. People were asking me, literally like telling me to restart my phone. Yeah, my camera control is not working either. So big thumbs up to Matthew there for telling me that you actually have to tap them and check them, which is kind of stupid because any other iOS menu, like, let me see here. So let me see if I can find one, for example, what I'm talking about. General, I think I can go to CarPlay and see one. Apps. So, okay, yeah. So if I turn off a CarPlay app, like this is what I'm talking about. This is what I was like expecting for this. So if I turn off a CarPlay app, right? It's not in this menu where I can reorder it anymore. It goes down to a separate, totally separate thing down here where it's, it shows that it's not on the list. But on the camera control, it doesn't do that. It literally just gives you a check mark. So I thought these were, based on the fact in iOS 18, you can't turn these off. They're all just on the menu. I thought these were just here so you could reorder them on the thing. I didn't know you had to actually check them to reactivate them because the camera adjustments thing is automatically on by default. So that doesn't make too much sense. The keyboard in dark mode iMessage is messed up. I have dark mode iMessage and it's fine. I'm not having any no issues here on my end. See if I can find I don't have any like messages. They don't have people's like numbers or like stuff like that or information. But yeah, no, my message is just fine. Switch from light. I have dark mode on. But like if I go from light, dark, yeah, no, it works. Here, I'll just cover the name, but yeah, it works just fine. No issues there for me at all. Try like force closing messages. Do you have a messages background set or anything, or do you just have like the black background for messages? I have chats with both. I do have the message background, and I didn't have any issues there either. So I really like the new keyboard. So I'm looking forward to that on third-party apps. But like I said, that won't come developer beta versions only for Apple. No, it's not for Apple employees. Anybody can download the developer beta. Anybody can have a developer account. You don't have to be an Apple employee. I don't work for Apple. It does seem to be, I mean, the performance on beta 2 wasn't horrible, but it does seem to be performing pretty well here on beta 3 as well, so only time will tell with that. I'm not too sure, like I said, how it is just off the base, just off the first few minutes. But I'm excited for the public release when we can get like the keyboard and all the. I'm excited to see what developers of third-party apps are going to do in terms of kind of integrating their app design with the new iOS design, because remember, we haven't had an iOS update like this in like 10 years almost or more. So I'm excited to see what app developers are going to do in terms of making their apps kind of match the theme and match the design language of Liquid Glass, because they're going to have to update for that. It's not just going to be, they're not just going to stay the same. They're going to kind of have to fit that whole deal. Yeah, I do. So I wish, yeah, that would be nice if iOS did have more haptics in the OS. Like we finally got, keyboard haptics a couple iOS versions ago. But it would be cool. Pixels have really, 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 really good haptics, and really take advantage of that with Android and stuff like that. So I wish the iPhone would be like that. I do like having that feel, that taptic and haptic feel on the phone when I'm using it, like scrolling through menus and stuff like that. It just adds like another element to it. So yes, I do wish that they would do that. I agree with you there. I'm waiting on just to see like if anybody publishes anything about anything new or anything like that we can go over that I'm missing. It doesn't look like they kind of refined what we were doing on beta 2, as far as like the liquid glass, how much liquid glass and everything there was, but it doesn't it doesn't look like they really did any type of adding anything or anything like that. Just kind of refining what we got in beta 2 so far, in my opinion. So we'll see here if I find anything, but so far I'm not finding anything that jumps out at me as, oh hey, that's not the same. And of course, Apple still hasn't posted the changelog yet, so I have to wait on that. The public beta comes out sometime in July. Apple already said this. It's not in September, it's in July. If you guys are going to answer a question, make sure you have your information correct. I mean, Apple already published the time that the public beta is coming out a month ago at WWDC. So if you're going to answer somebody's questions, don't say, oh yeah, it's coming out in September. It's not when the public beta comes out. The clock on the lock screen. I just realized my clock on the lock screen is not, for some reason it's black now, and I can't see it. Let me see if I can edit that. That's weird. I don't know why it went. It's set to white, but the glass and the solid thing work now. That wasn't working in beta 1 last time I tried it. Okay, so there we go. I just had to like reset the color. It was set to white, but for some reason I had to reset it for it to like take advantage of the, not take advantage, but like realize that the wallpaper was black as well and change the color. I wouldn't say it's the worst beta so far. Why do you think it's the worst beta so far? Are you saying it's the worst beta so far just because there's not a lot of new stuff in it? That doesn't make it a bad beta. They're not going to change something if they changed and added stuff every single beta, we would never have bug fixes for, we would never have stability because they would just constantly be adding stuff that would introduce new bugs. It's more frosted glass now than it was before. Yes, this is a spec case. I have another spec case I'm going to be making a video on. Same case. This isn't the grip one. My favorite case is the Presidio grip, and that's what I have here that I got the other day because I had a Best Buy gift card. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get one. It was on sale. If I can open it here, I have the old unboxing knife. iOS 17 release probably in September, probably just like every other year. Don't know why we're guessing at things we already know the answer to. we go. So yeah, Presidio grip. Spec has their click lock system on it, so you can have they have accessories with little pins that kind of pop out when you stick it to the case or whatever, that kind of lock it in there and keep it from rotating. So kind of a nice little addition to like stock MagSafe. Doo -doo -doo -doo. The digits on the clock kind of morph or fade in the next number row. I'm pretty sure that's kind of that's one of that clock font has the where you can expand it. I'm pretty sure that's part of that. It looks pretty similar to me though. But I'm not too sure. I mean, there's some like subtle changes here and there that, you know, I don't like. Okay, maybe that's different, maybe it's not, but sometimes it is hard to tell with the small changes. Thank you for the super chat. Check song file. I don't have a way to put I don't have a way to do that. I don't like have anything I can put as a I don't have anything I can put as like a custom ringtone. So maybe somebody else in the comments can help you out there. If anybody knows the answer to that question, can somebody help him with that? If you can do custom ringtones longer than 30 seconds. Can you update the public from beta 3? Are you talking about the public beta or are you talking about the public when it comes out in September? If you're talking about the public when it comes out in September, then yes. Yes, I can see your message. I don't know if you can go from the public beta to the or the developer beta to the public beta. It depends on the build, but I wouldn't. I mean, when the public beta comes out, the public beta is just a delayed release of the developer beta. So like when the public beta comes out next week, it's probably going to be beta 3. They release the developer beta, and then they wait a week to see, okay, yep, nothing major happened, and then they release the public beta as the same build. The clock. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I mean, it does that like sometimes when I put it to sleep, I get like a little animation kind of deal on the top. If you have an MP3 file in your files and it's longer than 30 seconds, you can't put it as a ringtone. Yeah, I don't know because I don't have any MP3 files on my phone. That's what I'm saying. I don't have a way to test that for you. If you stay for a week with beta 2, I would just update to beta 3 now because when updating to the public beta is just going to be the same as updating to beta 3. you might as well just update now. If you update now, you're basically going to get the public beta, or what is going to be the public beta. So M7, somebody just answered your question. The Files app won't let you if it's longer than 30 seconds. They tried with different audio files. Beta 1 or beta 3? I prefer beta 1 over for like looks, but the performance and the battery life of beta like 2 and 3. Notification, but I don't remember having that issue. I haven't made any phone calls though, so I can't tell you. But we'll see how the battery life is. I'm down to 39%. I didn't charge my phone all the way last night, so it's not a representation of the battery life. Any surprise features during the stable release? Probably not, because they would have to put them in the beta first. They're not just going to throw something in there and not test it and they're like, oh, surprise, here it is. Well, I'm not seeing too much more. I'm not really seeing anybody posting anything that's relatively like new in beta 3. They're just pretty much like design updates like we've already been talking about. So that's all I was asking earlier. Now I don't know how to get my money back. Once you send a super chat, you can't get it back. Still laggy for you on the 16 Pro Max? I mean, it doesn't seem to be really laggy for me. I mean, there's like some stutter here and there, but I mean, I wouldn't say that stutter here and there is any like really any different than it's really any different than like general iOS, just having a little like hiccup here and there, even if it's like a stable release. AirPods translation is out on the AirPods beta. I'll have to update my my AirPods. Let's see. Oop. I don't think my AirPods have updated yet. I wish you could just like see the status of the AirPods updating. That way you would know. You don't have to like, oh, like open the case, close the case, fool around with that. I wish it was just like open the case, click update, you know, plug in your AirPods or leave the case open or tell you to do something like that and, you know, tell you when they were done. I haven't run into any new bugs yet. So no new bugs as of yet. Thank you for the subscription. All right. Like I said, I don't see anything else new than what we've talked about. Kind of just some like the refining the liquid glass design and stuff like that. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and end the stream here. I will be doing my update video. If not tomorrow night, probably Wednesday. Give me about 24 to 48 hours with it, and I'll go over battery life, bugs, all that kind of stuff. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you click that subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on those videos and these live streams when we do the beta installs. This is probably going to be, I'll probably be back at work next time we have a new beta. So the beta installs are probably not going to be live in the moment that it comes out. It'll probably be later in the afternoon. But we'll see how that goes. It'll probably be around like 6 o'clock Eastern. But I will still always be doing my my update videos and stuff like that, usually a day or two after after the beta comes out. So if I'm back at work in a couple weeks from my foot injury, I won't be home, you know, home during the initial rollout of the update. But I will still either live stream it that evening or do multiple update videos for you guys. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on those. And I do thank you guys for watching. And anybody who sent a super chat, thank you very much for supporting the channel. We do have some Prime Day deals coming up, so I will be doing some videos on some products for Prime Day. So if you're looking for any tech deals, check those out as well. Thanks for watching.